my favorite exercises is the Zercher Squat. I love it as a lower body exercise, mostly because it also involves a lot of upper body. It's a great exercise to build the upper back strength as well as the traps and even the arms to some degree. It's also, from my experience, of all the big compound lifts, the one that increases core activation the most. When I do the Zercher with heavy weights, I even have my obliques cramp up. So it's a great movement to increase core activation. The reason is that the weight is a lot more forward, so the core works a lot harder to stay upright as well as the upper back. Now, some criticism of the Zercher squat is that, well, because the limiting factor is how much weight you can hold in the crook of your elbows, you can't really overload the lower body. Well, I beg to differ. Personally, I can Zercher the same amount of weight as I can front squat. I'm working with a member of the national bobsleigh team who recently did 460 on a Zercher squat, and a friend of mine, Jason Brown, he actually Zerchered 10 kilos more than he front squat. So if you're saying that the Zercher is not good to maximally overload the lower body, then you must also say that the front squat sucks as a lower body exercise because you can use about the same weight on both movements. Now, with that being taken care of, it is uncomfortable because you will be holding the weight in the crook of your elbows. You can wear long sleeves, you can wear elbow sleeve to protect your elbows, you can use a fat bar, whatever works. But once you get past the discomfort, it is a very effective exercise. Now, here are the benefits of the Zercher. First, if your front squat problem or even your back squat problem, the weak point is you start to lean forward or lose your upper back when squatting, the Zercher is a great movement to fix that. It will strengthen that whole back musculature, allowing you to be able to stay upright more easily. It also has, as I mentioned earlier, a great strengthening effect on your core. Last but not least, it teaches you to squat properly, which is to really open up those hips when squatting down instead of bringing your knees in. Because since you're going to be holding the bar here, just demonstrate if your knee's caving in during a Zercher. You will see that the knees will be in the way. So you can do that. So it really teaches you to push your knees out and really open those hips up when squatting. Good. You can rack it up. So for learning proper squatting mechanics, it's also at the hips, it's also a great movement. So let's demonstrate a Zercher. First, the stance will be slightly wider than what you use for a back squat or a front squat to be able to open those hips up. Now, when you set up, you want to increase core activation. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your abs, then you need to really root your feet into the floor, trying to externally rotate your feet into the floor so the knees will move back, sideways. Now you're going to squat back, breaking at the hips first, and then going up. It's not like a front squat. In a front squat, the knees will break first and the hips will break second. In a Zercher, it's like a back squat. You want the hips to break first. Hips break first, knees goes out, and you squat up. Again, hips. Excellent. One more. Good. You can rack the bar. You notice that Anthony was using an open grip. He was not holding the arms like this. And that's how you should be doing those Zerchers. So grab the bar, try to externally rotate the shoulders to maintain that proper posture. If you use a cross arm, the shoulders will become internally rotated, rounding that upper back, bring those scapulas forward, which is not what we want. We want to open the chest up, externally rotate, stay in that neutral position. So that has a strengthening effect. It's active if you hold yourself here and just grab like that. That's a passive action in the upper back, which is not what we want. So when you do a proper Zercher, open up, you walk forward, squeeze those shoulder blades together, root your feet, move your hips back first. Excellent. Great. Great way to learn to squat properly and also strengthen the core and upper back in the squatting movement pattern.